Hello. Good day to you. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Whatever time zone you're listening to this, thank you for joining me on today's episode of Daily Mind Shift. My name is Michael Ojuola. I'm not going to take much of your time today. I just want to talk about something that I think is profound for you to think about as you end this year and as you move on into the new year and a new decade. And I said decade because that's how I plan. I plan in years, in months, in days, but I also try as much as possible to plan in decades because sometimes when you plan 10 years, 20 years down the line, it gives you a bird view of your overall life, how you want it to pan out. Do you understand? It's not only basic. So, for example, if you plan for 10 years, you'll be able to give yourself some grace. If you fail in the first year, you know that you still have 9 years to get your shit together and all that. So, sometimes planning for 1 year is okay. Planning 3 years is cool. Planning 10 years, 20 years down the line. I'm not saying you should be rigid with those plans. I'm just saying it will give you perspective. It will give you perspective. All right. So today's episode of Daily Mind Shift will be anchored on this particular statement. Don't be distracted by the views of others. Focus on what engages and inspires you. It's a quote by Rod Judkins in one of his books, The Art of Creative Thinking. He says, don't be distracted by the views of others. Focus on what engages and inspires you. And I think, let me lend some voice and some thoughts about what I think he meant there. And I also use it to inspire, to challenge, and to transform you as you listen today so that you can go ahead and transform your life. All right. So don't be distracted by the views of others. I'm not saying you shouldn't listen to their opinions. I'm not saying you shouldn't consider what they are submitting to your table. But do not be distracted. 2023 is around the corner. You cannot afford to be distracted. You can't afford to be distracted by the noises around you, by noises in the media, by noises from your neighbor, by noises from your friends. You can't just afford to be distracted in any way, shape, or form. You cannot afford to be distracted. I think distraction will be one of your major enemies that you will have to contend with as you move into the new year, as you plan your decade, as you plan the 3 years, as you plan your 5 years. It's important for you to know that distraction will be one of the major enemies that you will contend with. You need to fortify your mind. And the only way for you to fortify your mind against distraction is focus. But first, let's talk a little bit about distraction. You can be distracted by what other people are doing, not only what they are saying, not only their viewpoints, not only their opinions. You can be distracted by what others are saying, by what others are doing, rather, by their life choices, by what you think is happening in their lives and not in yours. You can be distracted by that. So those are the things that you have to watch out for. Distractions can sneak up on you in the form of what are you doing differently. Distraction can sneak up on you by you going to your friends and family and always ask, what's making money right now? I'm not saying you shouldn't look out for opportunities. Yes, by all means, look out for opportunities. But are you skillful enough to understand that what you are doing right now is building yourself? Do you even believe in what you are building? See, the only person that I think is legitimately free to be asking around, what is making money right now, what is happening, what's paying right now, is somebody that doesn't have what they are doing. It's someone that doesn't even have anything doing. Those type of people can ask those questions so that they will have options on their table and then they will choose one or two to focus on. All right. But when you are already doing something, when you've started a business, when you are growing your startup company, when you just got a job or you have been on a job for a while right now. So the question you ask should be different. I'm not saying you shouldn't ask the question about the opportunities that are making money out there, but the questions you ask should be different, should be in terms of legacy projects, should be in terms of consolidating a career, of growth, of personal development. You shouldn't be looking at shining things and shiny objects. You shouldn't be distracted by shiny things and shiny objects. So the enemy I believe you will deal with as you go into your new year is distraction. And like I said, the antidote to distraction is focus. And finding what inspires you. Let me talk a little bit about finding what inspires you. Are you feeling uninspired right now? It happens, all right? So, but there are a few things that I think you can do to find what inspires you. And number one thing I will share with you is change things up. Like, for example, explore new locations. If you are thinking that you are feeling stuck in a particular environment, move. All right. Nobody wrote your stars in a particular environment. Nobody wrote your stars in a particular location. Plan your movement. Move. Change location. For example, if you're in Nigeria, we have 36 states. You can move anywhere. Just plan very well before you move. But move. Change things up. You can rearrange the setting of your house. Sometimes by doing that, you will see that you will feel as if you are inside a new building. Sometimes you don't need to move out of your building. You can just repaint. Do a new interior decoration, for example. Just rejig things. Do you understand? Rejig things. Change things up. By changing things up, you get your inspiration. You get some flashes of inspiration. Because like what Richard Branson said, he said, exploration is a wonderful way to open your eyes to the world. Exploration is a wonderful way to open your eyes to the world. So explore, change things up, switch up your routines, do something you've never done before, read books that you've never read before, engage with strangers, all right? Talk to people. Talk to new people, not the same set of people that you've been talking to and rolling with. Talk to new people. You get inspiration from there. Journal your ideas, all right? Take a walk inside nature. When you are feeling uninspired, go out. Let some fresh air hit your body. Go out. And another thing that I would say you should do is to remember who you are. Your time on earth is limited, no matter how long you live. Your time on earth is limited, so you don't waste it living somebody else's life. That's why I'm saying that you cannot afford to be distracted by views of other people. You can't afford that because your time is limited. Be very stoic. The moment you know who you are, the moment you are self-aware and you know what you want to do with your life, be very stoic with it because you know that your time is limited. Do you understand? Connect with yourself. What matters to you? Ask yourself, what are the things that really matters to you? Another thing I will tell you to do is to work on your self-esteem. If you don't really even believe in yourself, it will be difficult for you to focus on what engages you. You won't even know what engages you. You understand? You won't know what engages you. So work on your self-esteem. And one key area for you to get inspiration is when you respect yourself. And that comes by being skillful. When you know that you are good at what you do, you respect yourself. Do you understand? You won't self-sabotage. You respect yourself. You feel positive about yourself. Do you get? You feel very positive, immensely positive about yourself because self-respect is critical. Is critical to inspiration. You cannot be inspired without respecting yourself. Vincent van Gogh said that if you hear a voice within you that says you cannot paint, Vincent van Gogh is a Dutch painter. He said, if you hear a voice within you that says you cannot paint, then by all means paint, and that voice will be silenced. What is he saying in essence? Listen to yourself, especially when you have doubt. Listen to the opposite of that doubt and act anyway. That's the only way for you to silence the voice. Act anyway, all right? Act on that thing that you think you should not do. Go and do it. Go and record that course. Go and do that go and visit the homeless. Volunteer. Do you understand? Volunteer. Ask yourself, what will I do if there is no fear within me? What will I do if there is no fear within me? Do you get? Somebody said everything you've ever wanted is on the other side of fear. So Do not be distracted by the views of others. Focus on what engages you and focus on what inspires you. Thank you.